In this video, we would see how to install Docker on Ubuntu Linux. Before installing Docker, let us understand few things. To install Docker on a virtual machine with Ubuntu operating system, we have to download corresponding Debian packages from the remote repository. This remote repository will be maintained by the Docker maintainers. So maintainers upload the corresponding Debian packages in the remote repository. When they upload it, they will sign those packages with GPG or PGP keys. When we download the Debian packages, we also need to download corresponding public key. So this public key should be in the format of GPG format. For example, if the public key is not in the GPG format, we will convert that to GPG format. So once we download this public key, we will place these entries in the sources list. So using that list, when we install, corresponding package will be downloaded, and also it will trust this repository from where we download the Debian packages. Now let us connect to a terminal and perform these steps to install Docker on Ubuntu Linux. Let us start. This is the Linux terminal with Ubuntu operating system. So these are the instructions copied from Docker website. Let us understand these instructions one by one. So we have to download the public key and we have to convert that to GPG. So for that we have to install corresponding tools as well. So for example, we have to install GNU-PG, which will provide us the GPG utility, and also we'll install other tools like curl to download the packages. So CA certificate should be installed to provide SSL support, which will provide us the HTTPS communication, and also we can install LSB release to know the flavor of this Ubuntu operating system. Let us try to install these utilities. So before that, let us execute this apt-get update, which will update our package information in the VM. So now our packages are updated. So now let us install these required packages. So now we have installed the required packages. Now let us download and see what is this public key is. So this is the public key. So this is in the format of PGP. So we need to convert that to GPG format. For that we have to execute this command. So this call command will download the PGP key, and that key will be sent to the GPG utility. So this GPG utility will convert that key from PGP to GPG format, and it will place that GPG file in this file. So before that, let us create this directory. So keyring is nothing but a keychain which will group the list of keys. Those will be used for signing the packages, etc. So here we are creating a keyrings directory here under etc apt. So now this command will download the public key and convert that public key to GPG format, and it will place that public key to the keyrings directory. Now we can verify whether the GPG file is created. Now we have the GPG public key. So let us prepare a Docker list file. So this is a source list file which will contain the entry of corresponding remote repository URL as well as the public key which we have prepared just now. So let us try to understand the complete entry here. So let me copy up to here before placing this entry in this file. So this is the entry which we will place in the source list file. So this means this deb indicates we will download the Debian file, and the architecture of is AMD64, and the file will be signed by this public key, and this is the remote repository URL from where we will download the packages, and this is the flavor of this OS Bionic, and we will download the stable package. So this entry will be placed in the corresponding source list file. So now let us execute this complete command to prepare the source list file. So let us verify the content of this file. So now we have prepared the Docker list file. Let us update the packages in this VM again using apt-get. So now we have updated the package information. Let us install Docker now. So for that we will use this command. So this command will install Docker Community Edition and also corresponding Docker CA client, the containerd which will be used to install the containerd demo. We can also install other plugins like BuildX plugin and Compose plugin, etc. But these are not compulsory to install Docker, but we are installing these as well. So let us execute this command now. So now all our Docker packages are installed. Let us verify the Docker version. We can start the Docker now using systemctl command. You can verify the status. So now the Docker is up and running. We can see that we have a Docker daemon with container socket, and also the API is listening on Docker socket. Let us verify the permissions of this socket. So here the root user and the users of the Docker group have the permissions on the socket file. That means if we want to execute Docker commands, either we have to be a root user or the users of the Docker group. So let us try to execute Docker info user. This command will provide us more information, like what are the plugins we have installed, how many containers are running, etc. and what is the registry URL, and we can see all other information here. So now let us try to create a sample container using Docker run. So here the output indicates it is unable to find the image locally, so it has pulled that image from the Docker registry, and once the image is downloaded, it has created a container out of it, and the container process printed hello from Docker message. So let us verify the Docker images here. Now we can see that we have hello world image. And let us try to execute the same command using normal user other than root user. So let me exit from root user. I will log in with test user here. So if I execute Docker images from test1 user, so now it is saying the permission denied because this user is not part of Docker group. Because we have the permissions on the socket file only from the users of Docker group or the root user. So let us try to add this user to Docker group. So I am adding the test1 user to Docker group. Now we can verify the test1 user groups. Test1 user is part of Docker group as well. Let us relog in with test1 user again. And let us execute Docker images now. So now we can see the Docker image output from the normal user as well, because we have added to Docker group. So in this video, we have seen how to install Docker on a Ubuntu machine, and also we have seen how to allow permissions for a normal user to execute Docker commands in the VM. I hope this video is useful to you. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching.